it's Sam Mackay here, and I'm with Brian Julius. Just as a quick bit of an intro, we're using a trialing out a new technology here to live stream this particular video and the announcement. What we're going to discuss today. So apologies in advance if there's any issues, but I don't foresee any. Hopefully not. In terms of what I want to jump into today with Brian is a new initiative that we're running or looking to run at Enterprise DNA, and this is an idea that Brian has come up with in the past, like recently, and we're looking to roll it out this week. So with that, I'll throw it over to you, Brian, to do a bit of an intro about your thought process around the problem of the week and why you think this will be a really solid addition to the Enterprise DNA community and what we're doing on the forum.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. This is something that has been percolating in my head for a while, and it really started when I put together a video on improving your DAX toolbox, kind of strategies for how to level up your DAX skills. And in that, I did some research and came across a concept called deliberate practice. And deliberate practice is this very well-known psychological strategy for improving your skill in really any technical area. And it's based on four kind of key pillars, one of which is repetition. The other one is stretching beyond your current capabilities. So kind of reaching out a little further than you're currently capable of, getting regular feedback on what you're trying to do. And then the fourth part is focusing on the process, not on the outcome. And so we'll talk about what that means here, but I got a lot of questions from folks who said they found that video helpful, but they were kind of looking for practical ways to apply it. And we've talked a lot about how you can apply it based on answering questions in the forum or participating in the Enterprise DNA data challenges. And what we want to do with this is just give people another way without a lot of time investment to really work on that deliberate practice process to, balance not just their DAX skills, but also their Power Query skills. And the other thing we really wanted to do with this is we've recently expanded the expert team pretty dramatically. And we've got now about 9 or 10 experts participating in this initiative. And they've got an incredible diversity of skill sets and experience and ways of thinking about problems. And I always find on the forum, one of the most fascinating things is when you get a problem that somebody posts that 3 or 4 or 5 experts chime in on and all have different perspectives on. And that's really when you start to get this community problem solving. And so combining kind of the deliberate practice strategy with that expert community problem solving and really understanding the thought process that goes into breaking down a complex problem, we thought kind of all that really fits well into this problem of the week in a way that provides some structure, but in a way that's not onerous, doesn't involve a big time commitment, and is something everybody can do to get involved in the community.
Sounds amazing, and I couldn't agree more. We've always prided ourselves at Enterprise DNA on the most practical education around Power BI development and how you can practically apply your skills to your skills within Power BI to develop compelling reports. And I think that having this additional practice around quite specific problems is a really solid way of building up not only your Power BI skills, but also just your analytical thinking. And I think that is going to be a huge part of this. Well, why don't we go and share your screen, and you can maybe talk about, first of all, where we intend to run the problem of the week within our platform, so that users can they can go regularly to actually see where they can participate. And then after that, why don't we jump into the actual first problem and run through an example of what this a real world example of what this is all about.
Sounds great.
Okay, just bear with me, and I'll flick on your screen with our fancy new technology here. Okay. Okay. How does that look?
Looks great. So in terms of your question about where do people go to find this, we're going to post this on the first and third Wednesday of every month. And it's going to be posted in the Enterprise DNA forum. And we've actually got a category called Problem of the Week, where we're going to place all the problems, all the community discussion around each of the problems that we post.
Okay.
And we're also going to, what we're going to do in addition to the forum is we're going to put this also archive onto the portal, so that if you miss a problem 1 week, you can go back, you can review problems in the past that maybe you had trouble with and want to go back and redo. We're seeing that a lot on data challenges and want to give people same opportunity to do that with Problem of the Week.
Yeah, that's going to be incredibly valuable, building up a huge catalog of these problems, in these sort of mini challenges. And then I presume that we will we'll probably have some videos around the solutions, different types of solutions as well. So that's something that we'll look to invest in arranging it also, and we can put that into the portal too, and also into the forum.
Yeah, and that's kind of, as I mentioned, the problem is going to go out, a DAX problem the first week, Power Query problem the third week. And on the interim weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to have the expert who's kind of leading the problem that week. I'm going to lead this number one problem, but then we're going to rotate among 9 or 10 experts, and the solutions are going to walk through not just how to solve the problem itself, but really their general approach for problem solving. And it's fascinating because I find on the forum, when we get solutions posts, sometimes I'll look at the solution and I'll think it's an ingenious solution. I understand how they did it, but I don't understand the thought process that got them to that solution. And that's really what we want to get at.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, well, why don't we round things off by going through an example here, by going through the first problem of the week that we are going to launch, really in the next few hours, I think. And I think it'd be valuable to just dive into, what this would actually look like, and so everyone can sort of assess whether they want to get involved.
Yeah. So this one, and all the problems are going to really be practical. We're not going to delve into esoteric functions and, kind of problems for the sake of problems, but really real world things that you might come across. And this one is one that I came across in discussion about the holiday table. So it was a problem about how do we calculate network days, taking out holidays. And that's something we've dealt with a lot on the forum. And if you go to that first tab, what we found is that when you calculate or actually the second tab, if you would, when you build the holiday table, oftentimes you're building it from specific dates. And so it'll have, 10 public holidays, and it'll have the specific dates. But if you look, actually, it's not showing.
Is it not changing for you?
No.
Oh no. Okay. Do you want to try and maybe share your screen again? We'll.
Sure. Let me do that.
And see if we can get onto a different tab. Did it look just frozen on your end?
It did, but let me see if I can get my screen shared. Okay, are you seeing that second?
Yep. Here we go.
I should say the task.
Yep.
Okay, and so what we're doing here on this one is, instead of a holiday table that's created from specific dates, what you've got inputs that say, okay, so you've got a holiday that's the third Monday of January. You've got another one that's the last Monday of May, the first Monday of September, fourth Thursday of November. And then you've got some that are specific dates, like Christmas is always on the 25th. And the challenge here is to take that form of data and create specific holiday dates. So in a sense, what you can do is you can create a perpetual holiday table that if you've got the information in that first 3 columns, then with the the calculations, in this case, the DAX calculations that we're going to do, you can create that holiday date column for any year that you want. So here we've got 2020 through 2029. And then what we can also do in the fifth column is to say, okay, if the holiday falls on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's going to be celebrated either on the previous Friday or the subsequent Monday. Mm-hmm. And so the challenge is basically to take that information in the first three columns, and regardless of which year you choose on the slicer, have it calculate the proper dates and the proper celebrated on day. So in concept, it's quite simple. I think in actuality, folks will find it fairly challenging.
This is a really good one. I mean, this is certainly not a beginner level problem, but doable. It is certainly doable. I have an idea of how you would approach it, but not an exact solution in my mind. So this is a good one. I really like this as a starting point for this new initiative.
Great. Yeah. So, I think we ran this one with the expert team. What we found is that everybody did it differently. Right. There wasn't one solution that was identical to the other. So there's a lot of different ways to attack this. But basically, this is a DAX only challenge, and all the information you need is contained within the data provided. You're not going to need to bring in anything extra. And so if you go to your solution tab, what we've got is basically the workspace to build out your solution.
Right. Okay. Cool. This is great. This is going to be another super addition to the many initiatives that we run to help all Power BI users out there really think deeper about how they can solve things analytically inside of Power BI. So this is really exciting. So just to confirm, to participate in this, can anyone participate in this?
Anybody. You don't have to be a member.
Yeah.
Members, non-members.
Cool. And so the idea is that the information for this will always be on the Enterprise DNA forum in a new thread, and also we have a category set up for Problem of the Week. Right.
Correct. We'll post the PBIX file, and then just kind of leave space for questions. Just like if when we have in the challenge, if anybody has particular questions about the instructions, or sees a particular problem, feel free to just jump on and ask those questions. People can share information if they want on the their approach. We want to get a lot of community discussion going. And then on the solution, what we want to do is post the video, and then we'll post the solution on the forum as well, and then get people to discuss how did they solve it. And it may very well be that folks who participate find a faster, easier way to solve it than we did. And we want to get that community approach going, and seeing if kind of collectively we can come to the best solution.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big part of it, and what our forum really facilitates well is that collaboration. And so I think it'd be great to see on this first round how much discussion we get. Based on how well the Power BI challenges go, I'm sure it'll be a lot. And so there'll be just so much to learn from working with everyone else in the community. I have no doubt.
And one other thing that I wanted to throw out there is that if folks have a particular problem that they think is interesting, something they've come across in their actual work, and they want to see that addressed as a problem of the week, we've got an address. It's just problemoftheweek@enterprisedna.co, and you can just send that to us. Send us the idea, just like people do for the challenges, and we'll take a look at it, and you may see your problem as a future problem of the week.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll make sure that a lot of those links and are placed around this video or all the videos that are related to the problem of the week going forward. Okay, well, look, I think this has been a great intro, Brian. Why don't we wrap things up? I think our new use of this technology seemed to work okay by the feel of it. So we got a few comments coming in here, which is cool. But yeah, look, I think that this sort of format works pretty well, and I'm excited to see where the problem of the week takes us.
Me too. So eager for feedback too. So as folks go through it, if they've got suggestions or recommendations, happy to hear those.
Sounds good. Okay, well, thanks for your time, Brian, and
Thank you.
Next time. See you later.
Good luck, everybody.